Good evening and welcome to the Job Search Solution, the radio program where we talk about looking for a job, changing jobs, changing careers, hiring. And as always, we begin with a prayer. Dear God, grant us thy peace and thy mercy, thy will be done. So, what are your odds of getting a job by sending a resume online to anybody? I get those statistics with you. So please pay attention. On average, between 1,000 and 1,500 people view every job posting that's put out there. Between 200 and 300 of these people will begin an application or a process or send a resume or begin to send a resume to that job posting. Between 200 and 250 people will either complete an application or send a resume. 110 to 150 of those resume applications will be scanned by an ATS system of some sort or some type of human scanner who may or may not know what they're looking for. 60% of the resumes that are reviewed by people that really don't know that much about the job. Between 20 and 30 of these resumes will be sent to a hiring authority unless that hiring authority says they don't want to see more than maybe 10 or 15. Now, here's something important. Once that number is reached, whoever is doing the referring of those resumes to that hiring authority are going to stop. What that means is if you're not in that first group, you're going to get left in the queue or deleted. Everybody thinks that they're going to hire a candidate from that first group. I'll get to that in a minute. A hiring authority or somebody close to that hiring authority is going to maybe pick 6 to maybe 10 resumes and agree to interview maybe 4 to 5 of those people on a good day. 4 to 5 of those people will be interviewed and 1 or 2 of them will be brought back for subsequent or final interviews. Now get this. 25 to 30% of the time, the search is going to start all over because the hiring manager or interviewing authority does not see what they like for one reason or another. Either they don't like them or they want to start all over or parameters change. Parameters change about 40% of the time and they'll start all over. Of the remaining 60% or 75% of the time, one of the finalists will be offered a job and will probably accept. 20% of that time, the first candidate that is offered the job turns it down, then the second candidate is offered the job. If that candidate does not accept the job, which happens again another 20% of the time, the search starts all over again. Sometimes the company runs an ad again and they start all over with 250 to 300 resumes. Sometimes they go back to that pool of resumes that they got before. Sometimes they go back to candidates and that they hadn't looked at before and try again. But it is a very imprecise science. So, based on this reality, the odds of you finding a job by sending a resume online are about 1 in 400 to 425. Now, people keep sending resumes, and I agree, I understand. I run ads on LinkedIn and other places too. I ran one last week. I got 222 resumes. I'm a pro at doing this. I stay up sometimes till 10:30, midnight at night, looking at resumes. I still don't get through all of them. I pick a few out that I think are good, and then I go after them, and I put the rest in a file somewhere. So you really need to think about that. What are the odds of you getting a job by sending your resume online? 1 out of 400 to 450. Is it worth doing? Well, I guess so. But the probabilities of you getting hired are not very great. Too many things can happen along the way. You're sitting there thinking that everybody looks at this resume, peruses it, studies it, and passes it along to 3 other people. As I mentioned, 60% of the time, the resume is reviewed by somebody who doesn't even know what they're looking for. They've been told by somebody, look for these words, look for these companies, look for this kind of experience. So the probabilities just aren't very great. Don't hold your breath. Please don't spend a lot of time doing this, because the return on it isn't going to be very great. 1 out of 400 to 450, come on. You know better than that. Pick up the phone and call people you know. Pick up the phone and call people that you've worked with or been close to. But sending it blindly like that really doesn't do you very much good. So keep that in mind. All right, we're going to take a short break. Stay tuned. This is Tony Beshara with the Job Search Solution.